Tushar grew 42,000 followers in a single day on Instagram, and he actually used it to pay for his college, and he was only 18 years old. It propelled him all the way through college. Today, we're going to talk about the 4 keys that you need to learn how to grow on Instagram correctly, without black hat methods, without bots, without using things that don't work, and without actually having to care about the Instagram algorithm. Consistency, attention, quality, and quantity, producing, not consuming. Those are the 4 things that you need to write down. The top 0.01% of the people making the most money on Instagram consume less, they produce more. Grant Cardone is not consuming on Instagram. He's curating and he's posting content. He doesn't even spend time on the app. I know this because we're actually logged into his auto posting software. Frank Kern, same thing, pushing out content, okay? 8-figure earners, pushing out content, not consuming, okay? People like Kim Kardashian, 30 minutes a day on Instagram. They're not consuming, they're producing content, they're on there, do their thing, grow their brand, to get off. Instagram is a very poisonous place to be. Social media is a very poisonous place to be if your intent is not to grow your brand and you're just looking at all the fake lives other people have. So that's one of the things that you really got to pay attention to, is think in the eyes of a producer, not a consumer. When it comes to marketing, all right, what is it that the consumer wants? Don't be the consumer, understand the mind of the consumer, but be the producer, getting the content, curating the content, and then pushing it out there. Whether you're a repost account or an influencer, it doesn't matter. If you're brand new to the channel, there's a button that looks like this. Make sure to click it, make sure to smash it, and let everybody know that you love this channel, okay? You gotta make sure that you're producing, not consuming. I spend about 17 minutes a day on Instagram, on my personal account, that's it. I'm able to post 3 times a day, and I'm doing multiple stories. If I'm inspired to post a story because of where I'm at or what I'm doing or something I see and it evokes some sort of thought in my head, I get it out, but I'm on the app and then I get off. I engage with my comments, I go out in the community, I connect, I look at my DMs, I generate my traffic through there, I make my money, and I leave. That practice has enabled me and my members to be able to make 5 figures per month for literally the last 3 years. I understand that I'm talking really fast. I've gotten really good at talking this fast. I could actually put it into a rap and probably speak very well and probably not trip my words very much. If you want to register for the free Instagram Mastery web class, I sound like one of those commercials, go ahead and drop a comment below. Links in the description also, so you can click that link in the description, register for the free Instagram Mastery web class, where you're going to learn from me and all of my students who have made over $10 million in verified income on Instagram. Whew, mic drop moment. Okay, so let's talk about the next thing. It's consistency. Did you guys like that? I know. I should be a rapper. Should have just been a rapper instead. All right? Could totally beat Post Malone in a rap battle. Plus, I think I look a little bit better than him, and I don't have all the tattoos plastered on my face. I mean, the guy's talented, just weird looking dude. Consistency, okay? This kind of goes along with the next point that I'm gonna talk about. So the second thing is consistency. Now, this is obviously like a duh, okay, you gotta be consistent. Some people look at it in the minimalistic way. All right, what's the minimum I can post? If you wanna learn how to grow on Instagram and not care what the algorithm's doing or what the algorithm thinks, you gotta be consistent. Put out as much content as you can. If your mindset is literally like, oh, if I post once a day, I'll be fine, it's the wrong mindset to have. You know that your best posting times are like 9 a.m., 12, 3 p.m. generically, okay? That's like the general consensus. And if you look at that just a step further, just realize that the people you're reaching that are on Instagram at 9 a.m. are not the same population at 12, are not the same population at 3. So for you to think that if you just post once a day, it's fine, that's a little bit selfish of your brand, especially if you're managing a client's account. If you want to grow your brand on a global scale, look, Instagram's the best tool for you. Facebook's reach you have to pay for and spend a significant amount of money on ads. YouTube's the second largest and the most competitive search engine in the world. You got to tell a story, you got to be able to rap like me, and you got to be able to have all this editing equipment and do all this stuff. Instagram is free, and you can reach over 1 billion people and growing. It's the most engaged platform in the entire world. 83% of businesses actually follow other businesses on Instagram, so it's great for B2B, business to business. 75% of users will follow a call to action. It's got the highest concentration of millennials, and whether you're a millennial or not, here's the thing. Millennials are the largest workforce in the entire world right now. They make up the largest percentage of the economy, and by economy, I mean money. They're the ones spending the most. Whether they're intelligently spending it or not, they're the ones spending the most. Being consistent is key, okay? You want to be able to have impressions around the clock, because what's hitting at 9 a.m. might be hitting the United States and South America and Canada right above where I live right now, okay? But what I'm doing at 12, all right, in the afternoon might be hitting Australia because they're like 15, 16 hours past my time zone. They're just waking up the next day about to go to work. It might be like 9 a.m. for them. And what's happening at 6 p.m., all right, maybe I'm hitting the people coming home on the East Coast there. Europe's already asleep, all right? So my impressions are being distributed to different people. That consistency is really important, but it goes further than that, all right? Drop a comment below and let me know what your biggest struggle is when it comes to being consistent on Instagram, okay? Here's the next thing that you gotta look at when it comes to consistency is if you're not consistent, what makes you think other people would take your brand seriously? I see so many people, especially the millennial generation, all right? They've got this sense of entitlement a lot of times. They think that they should be just given things. And the funny thing about it is that they might take a break. You might take a break for 6 weeks and come back. Oh, I had a vacation and guys, here's what I did. Nobody cares, all right? The people that will pay you for your information, will pay you to become part of your brand, will pay you, will buy your products, buy your services, all that stuff. You don't deserve to be paid if you don't take your brand seriously. Why should other people take your brand seriously if you're not consistently growing your brand? Especially if you have a client and you are helping them to grow their social media presence, shame on you to not be consistent and not show up to do the work that they're paying you to do, okay? You deserve to be paid, but how much you are paid and how much you deserve it is based on how consistent you are. So the next thing is attention. And get this is something you might want to write down, okay? The person who has the most attention, that spends the most money, that's the most consistent, always wins, okay? The person with the most attention that spends the most money, that's always consistent, that's the most consistent, wins, okay? That's also equivalent to something like this, okay? The person that solves the biggest problem the fastest with the most attention wins. So you can transcribe it like that too. The person that solves the biggest problem the fastest with the most attention wins. The person that solves the biggest problem the fastest with the most attention wins, okay? What is your niche? What's the problem? What are people's belief patterns around that niche? What are their objections to that niche? Like, why can't they, maybe you're a fitness trainer, why can't they get a six-pack, okay? Maybe you are a musician, all right? What's the problem with people learning you teach music? What's the problem with people trying to understand 5/4 time versus 4/4 versus 2/4 versus 6/8 versus 3/4, etc., okay? Why do people have certain muscle memory this way, but they're not able to play notes or hit certain beats this way, okay? In real estate, maybe you're a luxury realtor, okay? What are people's objections around luxury real estate, okay? What is it? Is it how much it's gonna cost to insure? Is it property taxes? What are people's belief patterns about whether they believe or not they can afford this home, how they can get this with a budget like that, etc., okay? So when you understand that, you're able to provide value, put your specialization out there, and if you're consistent, you're gonna establish yourself as an authority figure in the niche. So what is the problem that people have in your industry? How can you solve it? You gotta convey that through what you're posting on Instagram. Being consistent, hitting those impressions around the clock, okay? Taking your work seriously so in turn the world can take your work seriously, your brand, your business seriously, all right? So the person that solves the biggest problem, what's the problem in your industry, okay? How are you solving it? How are you conveying and dishing out and putting into context that content, all right? Person that solves the biggest problem the fastest, that gets the most attention, is the one that wins. Here's the cool thing about Instagram. You don't have to have a significant ads expenditure, okay? You don't have to be spending billions of dollars on ads, millions of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, thousands of dollars, okay? You don't have to. It's a free platform, but you gotta learn how to leverage it. We use the intellectual growth method. You might have heard of it before. You might have heard me mention it before. If you're brand new, if you're not getting the success on Instagram, if you've been at it for a while, but you're not getting the success, you need to learn how to leverage the intellectual growth method, okay? The link is in the description. Make sure to register for the free Instagram Mastery web class. 137 different countries we have members in it. This is free for you, by the way, okay? Over $10 million in verified income. We've been at it since 2016, algorithm proof. This is to learn how to grow on Instagram, regardless of what the algorithm's doing, what the algorithm changes are, it doesn't matter. So if you wanna learn how to grow on Instagram, this training is for you. Link's in the description below. Save yourself the spot, okay? The next part that I wanna talk about, all right? It's quality and quantity. There's that saying, oh, it's quality, not quantity. No, it's freaking both. If you can do both, you need to do both, all right? Les Brown once said, he talked about a book, and I think the title of the book was something like, all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough, all right? Les Brown took that a step further, and he said, all you can do is all you can do, and all you can do is enough. Just make sure you're doing all that you can do, all right? So it's like, oh, I'm just gonna get one quality post out for the week, okay? Here's the next part of this, all right? It's quality and quantity. To hit your goal, increase your activity, all right? Not in 20 different directions, but the content that you're putting out, how much you know, the level of knowledge, is it here, here, or here, that you know about your niche, as the Europeans call it, all right? Once again, the bigger the problem you solve, the faster you solve it, and the more attention you get. That's the person who wins. That's the brand who wins. It doesn't matter how you're monetizing. It doesn't matter what your MEG, your monetization endgame is. It doesn't matter, okay? It doesn't matter. But increase your activity to hit that goal. Quality and quantity, okay? And the next thing I got it written down here is, once again, produce, don't consume, all right? It's poisonous to be waking up, who's on the gram, what did Tyga post right here, what's Chris Brown doing, what's Nicki Minaj doing, what are these complete imbeciles over here doing, what new tattoo did they get, okay, who got arrested, who did drugs, why did G-Eazy get caught punching somebody in the face and snorting cocaine with a wrapped up dollar bill in his pocket, all right, like all that stuff, all right, less of that and more on, all right. That's some fake stuff. There's that app. What's that app called? You guys know that app where people are, Brittany was just talking to me about it the other day. People can like change how big their biceps are or their hips or their chest or like whatever, all right? And it's all fake, okay? So like less about like all of that and more about building your brand, building your business, okay? If you're gonna be spending time on something, get paid for the time that you're already spending simply by changing what you're doing with that time spent on Instagram. So start being a producer and not a consumer. The top tier, the top people, the top income earners on Instagram are the ones producing, not consuming. They don't care about how many likes or comments, all right, G-Eazy got or what Oprah's doing. They don't care about that. Oprah's not worrying about that. Ellen DeGeneres, Elon Musk, all right, Bill Gates, they're not worried about that. Grant's not worried about that. Frank's not worried about that. Content, 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 quality and quantity, consistency in one direction, spilling out that knowledge, solving the biggest problems that they can in their industry, getting the attention, getting eyes on their products, presenting their offers, all right? My offer to you, free offer, all right? Register for the free Instagram Mastery web class. The link is in the description. If there's anything I can help you with, smash the like button, drop a comment below. I answer all of them. That is what I recommend you guys to do to learn how to grow on Instagram, regardless of the algorithm, not having to worry about it, all right? You wanna dive in, you wanna see all the verified income, the $10 million in combined income we've earned. You're brand new to Instagram, maybe you've been on it, maybe you have 500 followers, you can make money on Instagram with as little as 500 followers. You can start a business on Instagram with as little as 500 followers. You don't actually have to have followers to make money with Instagram. You've got a brick and mortar, wanna acquire more leads, more sales, all right. That's the world that I came from before I became an entrepreneur and did the whole online thing. We know it. We got it down to a science. Register for the class, smash that like button, and I'll see you inside.